بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome everyone to the first lesson of تسهيل النحو. Sorry, not تسهيل النحو. التسهيل لعلوم التنزيل by Ibn Juzay al-Kalbi. So in this course we'll be reading through the Tafsir of Surah al-Fatihah, inshallah. So right off the bat, let's begin with the title. التسهيل لعلوم التنزيل. طيب, this is the title of the book. التسهيل. Amy, since you're first on the list, can you tell me about the title here? التسهيل, what does that mean? لعلوم التنزيل. What is التسهيل?
التسهيل, this is a masdar from سهل.
Good. سهل يسهل. Tashil is the masdar, right? So sahula means, thank you, Amy. Sahula means to be easy. Okay, sahula means to be easy. Typically, when you put a verb or word on the pattern fa'ala, it's causative, right? So sahala is to make something easy. Okay, for example, I don't know, ba'uda means to be far. Right? So ba'ada to make something far or distant. So tasheel, a tasheel is the facilitation, making easy. Okay, making easy. Tasheel. Li'ulumi at-tanzil. Tasheel, facilitation or making easy of the sciences for the ulum, plural of ilm, at-tanzil. Sciences of at-tanzil. At-tanzil, again, masdar from nazzala yunazzilu, tanzil, which is revelation. Okay, nazzala means to reveal, revelation is a tanzil. Okay, fa'ala yufa'ilu, taf'il, it's like fassara yufassiru, tafsir. Same pattern. Ta'lif, and again we have another fa'ala yufa'ilu, just a coincidence. Fa'ala yufa'ilu here. Allafa yu'allifu, ta'lif. Allafa means to write. Al-mu'allif is the writer or author. Ta'lif, so writing of, or ta'lif of al-allama, scholar, al-mufassir, Abil Qasim, that's his kunya, Abu or Abil Qasim. And you guys know Ab is from Asma al-Khamsa, right? You have Abu and Aba and Abi. When it's marfu', it's Abu. When it's majroor, it's Abi. When it's mansub, it's Aba. So here, ta'lif is mudaf, al-alamat is mudaf ilayhi, that's why it's majroor. Al-mufassir, this is sifa or badal. And then Abil Qasim is badal, substitution. And we'll talk briefly about that a little later on, inshallah. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So here, al-alama is mudaf ilayhi majroor. So Abi as well is going to be mudaf ilayhi majroor. Or in the jar form. And it's mudaf to al-Qasim. That's Abu al-Qasim or Abu al-Qasim. Muhammad ibn Ahmed, Ibn Juzay al-Kalbi, al-Andalusi, al-Ghirnati. So he was from al-Andalus, Granada, right? Ghirnati, al-Ghirnati. Rahimahullah wa taqabbalahu fi ash-shuhada. Rahimahullah, this is a dua for him. May Allah have mercy on him. And we know in Arabic that du'as, there's no sort of may Allah have mercy on him type of form. Right? There's no structure like that. To make du'as in Arabic, you use the past tense or the present tense. The past tense is better and more emphatic, but you can also use the present tense as well. Rahimahullah, rahimahullah. Or you can say yarhamuhullah. Okay. Typically it's past tense, could be present tense as well. So jazakallahu khair is another past tense verb, right? It's a dua. Literally means Allah rewarded you, but it's a dua. So here, may Allah have mercy on him. Literally, Allah had mercy on him. Rahimahullah. Wa taqabbalahu fi shuhada. Taqabbala, to accept. Again, it's a dua. May Allah accept him. Taqabbalahu. I know the script might be a little bit hard to read. It just takes some practice, right? Wa taqabbalahu Allah or wa taqabbalahu fi shuhada. Shuhada is the plural of shaheed. the author died a martyr. So in our tradition, we don't, typically we say, may Allah accept him as a martyr. Right? We don't, do jazm and certain say he died a shaheed, right? He died, we make dua that Allah accepts him as a martyr because we don't know for sure how someone passed away, right? Rahimahullah wa taqabbalahu fi shuhada'i. So shuhada is plural of shaheed, and that's the date of birth, and that's when he passed away, 693 to 741. And then that obviously means Hijri calendar, the Islamic calendar, as opposed to meme, right? Meme, not the funny little picture. That's M-E. Meme here, the letter is Miladi, Gregorian calendar, Miladi. Then it says here, وَمَعَهُ, with this book, تقريرات لفضيلة الشيخ العلامة عبد الرحمن بن ناصر البراك حفظه الله تعالى ونفع به على المواضع المشكلة في العقيدة والسلوك. So this edition of the book, which is probably the best edition of the book, has footnotes from a current day living sheikh in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, by the name of Abdurrahman ibn Nasr al-Barrak. And they read the book to him. And there are things that he disagreed with the author pertaining to Aqidah and Suluk and these sort of things. So the editor of the book, who is Ali bin Ahmed al-Salihi, or Ahmed bin Hamd, al-Salihi, he compiled these footnotes from that sheikh. So we're not going to be reading those footnotes. Okay, we're only going to be reading from Ibn Juzay al-Kalbi. No. So the editor of the book, Tahqiq, is by Ali bin Hamid al-Salihi, like I mentioned. Just a coincidence, guys, that we're seeing a lot of taf'il, right? Tasheel, tanzil, ta'lif, and then here tahqiq, right? Tahqiq from haqqaqa yuhaqqiqu. Tahqiq is to edit a book. Basically, to take a book from a manuscript and turn it into a, what's the definition of tahqiq? They say ikhraj al-kitab. Basically, producing the book in a manner that the author would be pleased with. That's how they define tahqiq. So the one doing this tahqiq is a muhaqqiq, mufa'il, right? Ism fa'il. Haqqaqa yuhaqqiqu, tahqiq, muhaqqiq. So it's a doubled verb. Haqqaqa is a doubled verb, right? Like maddada yumaddidu. And the doubled verb, the fi'l mudha'af, is exactly like the salam, the regular verb, when it comes to pattern 2, right? That's something we studied as well. So pattern 2, fa'ala, even though it's a doubled verb, it's going to act exactly the same as sahala, for example. Haqqaqa, sahala, yusahhilu, yuhaqqiqu, tahqiq, tasheel, muhaqqiq, musahhil, for example, right? Khair. And then we have here al-mujallad al-awwal, first volume, al-mujallad al-awwal, mujallad is volume. And then this particular volume, one of 4 volumes, I have it behind me, the book, is from al-Fatihah to Ali Imran. Okay, and this is the publisher, Dar Tayyibat al-Khadra, al-Nashri wa Tawzi'. The dot is missing there, but it's a Tawzi'. Again, even Tawzi' is a fa'ilu verb. Again, it's a crazy coincidence. From wazza'a yuwazzi'u, which means to distribute, right? So, sort of the publication, distribution of the book is by this publisher. So, wazza'a yuwazzi'u, tawzi'. طيب. All right, so first, okay, so this book, as you can see, it's starting at page 239. What comes before that is the editor's introduction, biography of the Ibn Juzay, rahimahullah. Also, there's a introduction to the sciences of the Quran, like ulum al-Quran. Okay, there's a useful, nice introduction to ulum al-Quran by the author. There's also, if I'm not mistaken, a big chunk on vocabulary of the Quran, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And there's one instance where he refers you to the introduction where he mentions the vocabulary. طيب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الكلام على الاستعاذة. So we're going to start with the Isti'adhah. Al-kalam, I'm just going to read the title and I'll get you guys to read it, inshallah. Al-kalam على الاستعاذة. Al-kalam, speech or discussion. Discussion on the Isti'adhah. Isti'adhah. Let's get Sarah. Isti'adhah. Can you tell me what type of word isti'adhah is? Is it ism fa'il? Is it ism maf'ul?
It's about istif'al.
It's istif'al? Okay.
Yeah, istif'al. So this is like 5 years ago, so I'm gonna be rusty.
That's fine.
Isti'adhah. Istif'al then?
Okay, istif'al. What's the root form?
Fa'ala would be awadha.
Very good. So this is an ajwaf,
No.
where the middle letter is a weak letter, hollow verb, as they say in English.
Right.
Pattern, which pattern number?
Pattern would be Isti'adhah. What was the first pattern? That will shoot me off.
Pattern 10.
Sorry, come again?
Istaf'ala?
Istaf'ala, yustaf'ilu, istif'alan.
Yeah,
So
but
this is
it's known as pattern 10 in the dictionary.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I have forgotten.
It's okay. So quick review. Pattern 1 is just your fa'ala, your fa'ila, or fa'ula. Pattern 2 is fa'ala with a shadda.
Okay.
Pattern 3, fa'ala.
Oh, right.
Pattern 4, af'ala. 5, tafa'ala.
Okay.
6, tafa'ala.
Okay.
7, infa'ala.
Infa'ala. No.
8, ifta'ala. 9, do you remember 9?
9 would be then istif'al is the 9th one?
No, 9 is if'ala.
Oh, if'ala.
The colors.
Okay.
Remember the colors and stuff?
Okay, sure.
And then 10 is istaf'ala.
10th is istif'ala. Okay.
Good. Jazakallah khair. Thank you. So this is from ista'adha yasta'idhu. Just like istaqama yastaqimu. Okay. And the ajwaf verbs, a few of them we get a ta marbuta at the end. Sabir, can you help us out here? Which ajwaf verbs, right? Which ajwaf verbs have a ta marbuta at the end? I threw you a curveball, Sabir.
No idea.
Arada, yuridu, iradatan, right?
No.
That's one. You don't remember?
No.
Khair, inshallah. No problem. Zainab, you want to try?
What's the question?
Question is, are you familiar with ajwaf verbs?
No.
No, that's okay, no problem. So we have verbs that the middle letter is a weak letter, right? And then the masdar for them, we get a ta marbuta. So Amy, help us out here.
Pattern 4.
Pattern 4, arada yuridu irada.
Irada.
Good. What else?
And pattern 10.
Pattern 10. And pattern 8 as well, right? What was pattern 8? What was the example I gave you guys? Ihtaja? No, that was ihtiyaj. No. I think that was it. No, I think there was a third one. Khair, we'll see. If it comes up, we'll see, inshallah. Okay. So isti'adha, if istif'al, typically, the primary meaning of istaf'ala is to seek. Right? If I said to you, ghafara means to forgive, istaghfara means to seek forgiveness. Okay. So Isti'adhah is seeking what the root form is, which is ayn, waw, dhal. So aadha yu'udhu means to like refuge. So isti'adha is seeking refuge. Seeking refuge. Right. All right, let's begin. That was all just an introduction. Let's get Amy for those two. Not Amy, sorry, I apologize. Let's get Yusuf, inshallah, for these two lines right there.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Fihi ashru fuadu
Okay.
min finunin mukhtalafati.
طيب. Let's start with that. What does that mean?
So in it, there are 10 parts. The fuad from I don't know these words at the end. I got to look them up.
Cool. No problem.
Yeah, I have to look them up.
Okay, no problem. Jazakallah khair, Yusuf. So fihi, he was right there. Fihi ashru fawaid. This is the problem, Yusuf. You read this wrong. It's not fuad. Fuad is written like this. Fuad. Fuad means heart. Right? Plural of fuad is afida. Okay. So I'm just gonna meet you there for a second, Yusuf. I apologize. Fuad. So the word fuad, if you want to look up, you know what? Let's quickly do it. Let me just let me go over here. We're gonna open up this dictionary right here. Search. We search fa hamza dal. We get fuad, right? Heart. Like, how do we find the word we're looking for? Anybody in the chat? The word we have here is not fuad. We have fawaid. How do we find this word?
I know it's a plural, so I'm looking at the singular fa'ida.
But mumtaz. So it's the plural of fa'ida. Okay, plural of fa'ida. So what are we going to search here? Any guesses, Sarah?
So fa'ada, fa hamza dal.
Well, we just did that and we found fuad. We didn't find anything else.
Fa waw dal.
Good. Yeah. I think that was Yusuf. Yeah. Fawada. Perfect. All right. So we come to fawada. All right. And what do we have here? Oh, we have fawaha, faha. Okay. And we have fawd, some sort of temple. Do we just rule out? Do we say, okay, this dude forgot it. It's not in the dictionary? Help us out.
I think it's, you tried the third weak letter, the yeah.
Okay, fayada. Okay. Now we're on to something. All right. I'm showing you guys the practical steps, right? As a learner, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to come across words. You're not going to know how to find them. All right. What do you know? Right there. So it's from fayada on pattern 4. Afada yufidu means the benefit. Afada yufidu. So fa'ida, utility, where is the benefit? Plural is fawaid. So what happens is, even if you come here and you search quickly, what'll happen, you'll look for fawaid, fawaid, fawaid. You won't find it here. That's because it's a plural. So you got to look carefully. Okay. So fawaid means benefit. So fa'ida means benefit. So fawaid means benefits. Okay. Benefits. طيب فيه عشر فوائد. So 10 benefits. من فنون مختلفة. So فوائد, this 10 is مضاف. Numbers 3 to 10 in Arabic, numbers 3 to 10 are always going to be مضاف to the thing you're counting, right? So if qalam, I have a qalam here, right? Not a dual because we have qalaman, but ثلاثة, you would say ثلاثة أقلام. ثلاثة أقلام. So the number is always going to be مضاف. So here it's going to be 10 فوائد is مضاف إليه. However, فوائد is ممنوع من الصرف. فوائد is ممنوع من الصرف. And Yusuf is going to tell us what ممنوع من الصرف means. تفضل يا يوسف. ما معنى ممنوع من الصرف؟ Yusuf.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute just to tell you that I don't know.
Okay, I waited for nothing. All right. Zainab is going to tell us what ممنوع من الصرف means.
I don't know. Is it mamnu forbidden?
Yeah. You're halfway there. What is the sarf now?
I have no idea.
Okay. Are you familiar with the case endings? Fatha, kasra, dhamma?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the terms marfu', mansub, majroor?
Yes.
Okay. So if I said to you, I don't know, I'm kind of hungry right now, so I'm gonna say ta'amun. Okay. Ta'am. All right. What does ta'am mean?
No.
الذي تأكل.
To eat.
ماذا تأكل؟
Food.
Yes, food. So, what is this called with two dhammas?
Tanween.
Okay, my question was not clear. I apologize. What do you call that grammatical case?
Oh, marfu'.
Good. Marfu'. My writing is ugly. Marfood. Oh my, I'm that hungry. Marfu'. What is going on? Marfu'. Okay. And then what's the two kasras?
Majroor.
Very good. Majroor. And what's two fathas?
Mansoob.
Good. Mansoob. Okay. This is like a normal sort of word, right? When it's marfu', it gets dhammas. When it's mansoob, it gets fathas. When it's majroor, it gets kasras, right? Then we have some words and some names. Let's take the name Uthman, for example. Okay. Uthman is a word that's mamnu' min as-sarf. And what that entails is two things. Okay. Number one, when it's majroor, it's not going to be majroor with a kasra, it's going to be majroor with a fatha instead. Okay. So I'm going to say majroor with fatha. I hope that's clear, guys. Okay. Majroor with a fatha. That's the first thing that, that's when you say a word is mamnu' min as-sarf, two things are going to happen. Number one, it's majroor with a fatha. Number two, there's never a tanween. Okay? There's no tanween. Is that clear, Zainab?
Yeah.
So we have words in the Arabic language that are known as mamnu' min as-sarf. Right? When is a word mamnu' min as-sarf? Right? That's a whole other lesson itself, right? But I'll just say right now, a word like fawaid is mamnu' min as-sarf. So that means two things. Number one, it's majroor with a fatha instead of a kasra. And number two, it never has a tanween. So if fawaid is mudaf ilayhi, are you familiar with mudaf ilayhi?
Nope.
Okay, no problem. So here, ashru, it's going to be fawaida. Okay, it's going to be fawaida because it's a mamnu' min as-sarf. Jazakallah khair. Thank you, Zainab. So, quick rule is any plural that's on the pattern fawa'il, or on the pattern fawa'il as well, fawa'il with a ya, it's going to be mamnu' min as-sarf. So masjid, masajid, right? Masajid is going to be mamnu' min as-sarf. طيب. What's on the first line? We have a lot to go. فيه 10 فوائد. So there's 10 benefits من فنون مختلفة. فنون is the plural of fen. Okay, fen. Funun is the plural of fan. Fan in the chat, does anyone know what fan means or funun?
Art.
Good. So fan means art. Funun is the plural. So arts. A fannan. What do you guys think of who is a fannan? Fannan, the shadda there. That's a noon. Fannan is an artist. Fannan is an artist. If Yusuf studied in Kulliyat al-Funun, right, the Faculty of Arts, right, or arts college, right, Kulliyat al-Funun. طيب. So what's meant by funun here is ulum. Ulum. Okay. Ulum مختلفة. مختلفة is from اختلف يختلف. اختلف, to be different. To be different. اختلف. Or to differ. مختلفة اسم فاعل. مختلف is اسم فاعل and a ta is added because it's a sifa. مختلفة is a sifa for funun. Right? And in Arabic, broken plurals are treated as single female. In Arabic, broken plurals are treated as single female. So مختلف, you're gonna have to add a ta and make it feminine, so we can agree with the with funun. طيب. This is all. We'll speed it up. Otherwise, the next sifa mawsuf we come across, we'll practice the 4 things that have to agree between a sifa and a mawsuf. So he's saying so when he's talking about isti'adhah, al-kalam ala al-isti'adhah, he's saying fi 10 fawaid, there's 10 benefits from different sciences. So some of the things he's going to mention is fiqh. Some of the things he's going to mention is nahu. Some of the things he's going to mention is balagha, rhetoric. Some of the things he's going to mention is tazkiyah, right? So there's different subjects he's going to be benefits he's going to be mentioning. Okay. طيب. Before we move on, any questions? طيب. Let's get Sabir, inshallah, for just the next line right there.
الأولى لفظ تعوض على 5 أوجه.
على 5 أوجه.
أوجه, no.
What does that mean?
The first one, the term of or the pronunciation of ta'awud, which is ta'awud billah,
good,
is on 5, can be done in 5 ways.
Good, very good.
5 faces. 5 ways.
Exactly, very good. So al-ula, first, is talking about these 10 fawaid, these 10 benefits. The first one, al-ula. Type ula, we have the word ula. I'm just going to type. What am I doing? We have the word ula, and we have the word awwal. Okay. Ula and awwal. The top one is feminine. Bottom one is masculine. Okay. So I would say al-bayt al-awwal, for example. Al-bayt al-awwal, the first house. But since we're talking about the fawaid, it's al-fa'ida, basically. Al-fa'ida al-ula. You're not going to say al-awwal. It's referring to the fa'ida. Fa'ida is a feminine word because there's a ta marbuta there. So you're going to say al-ula. Al-ula, lafz al-ta'awud. Lafz, articulation or pronunciation, right? Lafada, to articulate something, right? At-ta'awud. Ta'awud from same root word, right? Isti'adhah is pattern 10. Ta'awwadha is pattern 5. Ta'awwadha yata'awwadhu. And this is an adjective verb on pattern 5. And the adjective verb on pattern 5 is exactly like the silem, just like a regular verb. So ta'awwadha, and the conjugation of the verb ta'awwadha, is exactly the same as takhallafa, tahammala. Ta'awwadha yata'awwadhu, takhallafa yatakhallafu. Right? Takhalluf, ta'awwudh. Okay, so just because there's a weak letter there doesn't mean funny things are going to happen. Okay, lafz al-ta'awudh ala 5 awjuh. So 5 awjuh just like Sabir said, is a plural of wajh. Right? Wajh means face, but here we're not counting faces. Wajh also means perspective, angles, point of views, way. Okay. It's 5 ways. So he's saying that the ta'awudh can be done 5 different ways. طيب. Amy, can you give us the first one?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وهو المروي عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم والمختار عند القراء.
طيب. What does that mean? وهو المروي. So we know أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. We'll come
This
back
is-
to Shaitan and Rajim and explain all that. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. He's saying this is the report from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So what is this word right here? What is it?
Marwiyun from like riwayah, like
Is it a masdar or?
no, it's ism fa'il.
Try again.
Maf'ul.
Yeah.
Ism
Good.
maf'ul, sorry.
Good. What's the verb? What verb does it come from?
Ra, waw, ya.
Ra, wow, yeah. Okay. Originally, and then the wow becomes a alif, so it's going to be rawa. Okay. Now, what kind of verb is this? Mithal, mahmuz, what is it?
Lafif, maqroon.
نعم لفيف مقرون. So we have 2 types of lafif. We have lafif maqroon and lafif mafruq. If the 2 weak letters are side by side, it's lafif maqroon, like we have here, the waw and the ya. And if it's lafif mafruq, what's the example of lafif mafruq?
This one. Oh, no, mafruq. I don't remember.
Waliya, right? Waliya, for example, waliya, and there was another verb we took. Waliya, and it'll come to me. Sabi, do you remember the other example we took for the lafif mafruq? Waliya and? You don't remember? Okay, no problem. طيب, so here we have rawa. So we took 2 verbs in the lafif maqroon. Amy, what were those 2 verbs?
I don't remember. I wish I
Nawa,
could tell you. Okay.
nawa.
Nawa.
Another one, qawiya. Remember that? Qawiya. So
I have
there's
to check my notes.
no problem. This is why we have this course, just for review, right? So nawa yanwi, and then there was qawiya yaqwa. Like rawa is like which of the 2? Is it like nawa yanwi or is it like qawiya yaqwa?
Nawa yanwi.
Good. Nawa yanwi. So rawa yarwi to relate, right? To narrate. Rawa yarwi. What's the ism fa'il of rawa yarwi?
Rawin.
Good. Rawin. And the ism maf'ul, as you said, is marwi. Just like nawa yanwi, manwiyun. And for those of you who haven't reached the lafif yet, it's pretty much very similar to the naqis. So just like you say bana yabni, mabniyun, you're going to say marwiyun. Good. So marwiyun, Annie, reported, right? Marwi عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. طيب والمختار, what does that mean?
Preferred.
What's the past tense verb?
اختار.
Yeah, اختار. What's the مضارع?
اختار يختار.
Good. اختار يختار. This is an ajwaf on pattern 8, صح? Good. اختار يختار. Just like احتاج يحتاج. طيب, so is this the mastar or what is this?
No, this is also what's ism maf'ul.
Remember this
But I think on
pattern?
this pattern that
Yeah.
the fa'il and the maf'ul are the same.
Exactly. This is one of those patterns where the ism fa'al and the maf'ul look the same. Only context will tell you the difference. So here, al-mukhtar عند القراء. We'll come back to mukhtar عند القراء. What does that mean?
Like in the opinion of the Qur'an, like the people who recite.
Correct. So عند literally means with. Here it means according to al-qurra, the the 7 or the 10 qurra, plural of qari, right? Plural of qari. Good. So mukhtar here is the ism maf'ul. It's the thing selected by the qurra. Make sense? طيب, جزاك الله خير. All right. I want to speed this up just a little bit. However, every time I say that, it usually takes me longer. طيب. Let's get Sara now. We're going to go in order now. I apologize, people at the bottom. We're going to go in order now. Go ahead, Sara. Can you read this?
Yeah. وأعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم وهو مروي عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Good. So same Arabic, same thing happening, right? وهو
Yeah, same
مروي
thing. It
عن
is.
النبي
Yeah, narrated
صلى الله
from
عليه
the
وسلم.
Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Good. Next, can you just finish the whole paragraph there?
Yeah, sure. وأعوذ بالله العظيم من الشيطان الرجيم وأعوذ بالله القوي من الشيطان الغوي وأعوذ بالله المجيد من الشيطان المريد وهي محدثة.
Okay. محدثة. What does محدثة mean?
Is it محدثة? I think this is محدثة.
What's that, sorry?
I think this is محدثة, right? I'm not sure.
Okay. طيب, جزاك الله خير. Let's just for the sake of time, I'll explain it. Otherwise, I'd get your classmates to share their opinions. This is not محدثة. محدثة is a female scholar, right? محدث, male scholar. محدثة, female scholar. Here it's محدثة. محدثة. طيب, what does that mean? Did anybody find this word in the dictionary when you guys were preparing for this class?
New.
What's that?
Yes.
Was that Sabir?
New.
Good. New. Amy, same thing?
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Modern.
Good. So what he's saying here is, do you know, I don't know if you guys know the famous hadith, Man ahdatha fi amrina hada ma laysa minhu fahuwa rad. Right? Whoever, hadith Aisha, I believe it is. It's in 40 hadith Nawawi. Man ahdatha fi amrina hada. Whoever innovates or brings something new to this affair of ours, meaning this religion, fahuwa rad, then it's rejected, as the hadith says, right? If you haven't heard that, then I'm sure you've heard the khatib on Fridays say, kullu muhdathatin bid'ah. All right. Kullu muhdathatin bid'ah. Right. So every newly invented matter is an innovation. That's what the khatib says. So the verb is ahdatha yuhdithu, and muhdatha is that thing that's newly invented or added. Okay. What he's saying here, and this is more of an Arabic class than it is a fiqh class. Okay, I just want to make that clear here. So he's saying that these three here are not transmitted from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that's because a lot of scholars believe that the command that tells us, and we're going to come to it in a moment, when you recite the Quran, the verse says, "Fasta'idh billah," then make this isti'adhah. A lot of scholars say that you can make this isti'adhah anyway, meaning you have flexibility. It doesn't have to be a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, right? As long as you use the word a'udhu billah, for example, and for example, say a'udhu billahi ar-Rahmanir Rahim minash shaitanir rajim, then that would count, right? You've done the isti'adhah. You fulfilled that, that command there. Fasta'id billah. Okay. But obviously what's best is what was done by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and al-mukhtar عند القراء. So he's saying here that these are not transmitted. They're not marwiya. They're muhdatha. طيب. And he's saying وهي, right? They are, right? Because we're talking about different forms here, different awjah, right? Wajh, right? Awjah. So you're going to treat those as single female and say وهي. طيب. الآن عندنا هذا صابر. صابر تفضل. الثانية.
الثانية يؤمر القارئ بالاستعاذة.
What's the first word?
يؤمر
okay.
القارئ بالاستعاذة قبل القراءة سواء ابتداء أول سورة أو جزء سورة.
طيب. What does that mean?
The reciter is commanded to start with the Isti'adhah before reading. For the reading. Say at the same time, ابتداء سواء ابتداء أول سورة, whether it is the beginning of the surah or from a section of the surah.
Very good. ممتاز. جزاك khair. So here we have this verb here, which is amara. Amara ya'muru. Ya'muru. Amara ya'muru. طيب. To command. All right. And this is the passive voice. Yu'maru. Passive voice. So al-qari here would be na'ib al-fa'al, that substitute deputy fa'al, right? Na'ib al-fa'al. Na'ib al-fa'al is always marfu'. Yu'maru al-qari. The qari is, the reciter is commanded or instructed. Bil isti'adati. The verb amara, ya'muru, has two objects. The first one is doesn't have a harf jar, and then the second one has a harf jar. So, for example, I would say in the Quran, in the verse in the Quran, Surah Taha, we have wa'mur ahlaka bis salati. Wa'mur, command. Amra ya'muru mur. But as we study, guys, in term 3, for those of you who are with us, you have two options. If there's a letter or haraka or something before it, you're going to say wa'mur fa'mur, right? But if it's by itself, you're going to say mur, right? So this verse is saying wa'mur, and instruct, command. Ahlaka, that's the first object. That's why it's mansub. No harf jar, clearly. Bis salati. So we see a ba being used there, right? Yu'maru al-qari bil isti'adati. Okay. قبل القراءة, before the recitation. سواء ابتدأ. So sawa here, sawa means whether or regardless. Okay. For example, I could say to you, سواء بكيت أو لا سيأتيك رزقك. Whether you cry or not, سواء بكيت أو لا أم لا سيأتيك رزقك. Whether you cry or not, whether or not you cry, or regardless if you cry or not, your rizq will come to you, for example. So here we have سواء. So he's saying that يؤمر القارئ بالاستعاذة قبل القراءة سواء ابتدأ أول سورة. ابتدأ, to start. أول سورة. Right, let me add the harakat here. ابتدأ أول سورة. Whether you're starting from the beginning of the surah, أو جزء سورة, or part of a surah. Right. Whether you're starting from طه, you say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم طه, or أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وأمر أهلك بالصلاة. Okay. طيب. Sabir, can you finish just that little, those 4 words right there, and then we'll get Yusuf for the next section.
والأمر بذلك على الندب.
الندب.
على الندب.
What does that mean?
I don't know ندب.
Okay. الأمر.
And this is recommended, asked, commanded. على الندب.
Okay. Yeah, you're close. So الأمر بذلك على الندب, and the command for that or with that is I'm not sure how we can translate that. على الند. ند means mandub, right? Recommended. So we have, for example, wajib is an adjective. You say as-salatu wajiba. But the idea of a word, something being wajib, is wujub. That's the noun, right? Wujub. Similarly, we have mandub or mustahab, which is the adjective. And then the idea is a nadb or al-istihbab. Mustahab, istihbab, mandub, nadb. Okay. So al-amr bidhalika ala nadb, meaning in the verse, which we'll see in a moment, Allah says in Surah Al-Nahl, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. And when you recite the Quran, seek protection or refuge in Allah from the shaitan al-rajim. The word فَاسْتَعِذْ is a فعل أمر. استعاذ يستعيذ استعذ. Just like استقام يستقيم استقم. Okay, so it's a command. So you're saying the command here is for mustahab. It's not wajib. Meaning if I say وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ without saying أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, I'm not sinning. It's just recommended. Clear? All right. I think we're on Yusuf now.
الثلاثة.
الثالثة.
الثالثة يجهر بالاستعاذة.
اقرأ جيدا يوسف. اقرأ جيدا. الثالثة
يجهر.
ما الحركة فوق الياء؟ هل هذا فتحة أو ضمة؟
يجهر.
ممتاز. يجهر
بالاستعاذة.
ممتاز.
عند الجمهور وهو المختار.
وهو المختار.
مختار.
طيب, what does that mean?
And the third, يجهر. Yeah, I don't know what يجهر means. يجهر.
طيب, بالاستعاذة.
With the isti'adhah.
Good. عند.
Verily.
That's inna.
Oh.
We saw it earlier with عند القراء, according to or with.
Oh, okay. With the jamhur, the dominant or the
Good.
majority.
Good.
وهو
المختار.
And it is the selected or like the preferred.
Good, preferred. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Good. Jazakallah khair. So yujhar, from jahara yajharu, which means to say something loud, out loud. All right. To opposite of quiet. For example, we have two types of salah. Salat jahriya and salat sirriya. So jahriya is your maghrib, your audible, right? Audible prayers, your maghrib, your isha, your fajr, etc. Right? Those are salawat al-jahriya. And the opposite of that is sirriya, quiet prayers. Sirr meaning secret. So it's, typically done quietly, right? If you tell someone a secret, you don't yell your secret, right? طيب. So yujharu. So jahara is a verb that's muta'addi. Jahara. It's a fi'l that's transitive verb. Muta'addi. So here the passive voice is being used. Yujharu bil isti'adati. So the isti'adha is done out loud. Okay. Here we're talking about obviously outside of salah. Here, this mas'ala, this issue is talking about outside of salah. يجهر بالاستعاذة عند الجمهور. With the جمهور, the majority. Jumhur is majority. Or not majority. What's the word you used, Yusuf?
The dominant.
Yeah, dominant. Yeah. Good. طيب. Now the word, it's jumhur and jamhur. I've seen both. I think jumhur is more correct, but jamhur is said a lot as well. Okay. Now, the following word, what do you think this word means, Amy? I need Amy and I think Sarah to answer. What do you think this word means here? Jamhuri. What do you think that word means? You have to guess, Amy.
I don't know, someone from the majority.
No, Republican.
Really?
Yeah, that's the word for Republican. And Democrat is Demokrati.
Oh, I was about to say democratic. Oh,
No,
it was
so
Republican. Okay.
yeah, Jamhuriyat, the Republic of whatever country is Jamhuriya. It's the same word, Jamhuriya, Jamhur. So you can see that public, the word public, the word group, is there, right? So يجهر بالاستعاذة عند الجمهور وهو المختار, and that's what's preferred or selected. Okay. Now that's what mukhtar means linguistically, right? The author of this text is Maliki. Follow the Maliki method. I don't know. I don't know if he means mukhtar in the linguistical sense, just what's selected, or if he means it as a terminology according to Maliki fiqh books. Okay, it could be a term. It could be a term with the Malikis. And according to what I was able to find, the Malikis, when they say the word mukhtar, it's مختاره بعض الأئمة لدليل رجحه به. So it's what some of the imams within that school of thought selected, preferred, chose with a dalil, with a proof that they did tarjih with. So I don't know if he means that or just more general, just what's preferred or what's preferred. Okay. طيب يشبه الاستعاذة عند الجمهور وهو المختار. طيب, I think that's all I wanted to mention there. Yusuf, you can finish that off for us.
روية الإخفاء الإخفاء عن حمزة ونافي.
طيب, what does that mean? والروية?
Is this it's the way, like the riwayah or the?
Okay, close. So we saw earlier rawa yarwi, which means to. What does rawa yarwi mean?
Trying to recall.
To was it relate? Is that what we said?
Relate.
So ruwiya is the passive voice.
Related.
Yeah, so al-ikhfa is your thing being related here. So al-ikhfa, what does ikhfa mean? That's the question.
إخفاء. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay. An Hamza or Nafi, what does that mean?
On the 5,
Where's the word 5?
Hamza?
That's Hamza. Hamza is a name.
Oh.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
No problem. جزاك خير. So والروية الإخفاء. الإخفاء is just to speed this up, guys. The masdar from أخفى يخفي. Okay, أخفى يخفي إخفاء. For example, أنسى ينسي إنساء. أملا يملي إملاء. Okay. So a lot of the naqis verbs, we get a hamza at the end. A lot of the naqis verbs, we get a hamza at the end in the masdar. For example, أملا يملي إملاء. افتعل as well. استفعل. استسقى. استسقى يستسقي استسقاء. Right, so there's a couple of patterns there. We get a hamza at the end. طيب. So إخفاء, what does إخفاء mean? What is إخفاء? Who knows what إخفاء means?
Hidden.
No, that's خفى يخفي. أخفى is to hide. Were you going to say that, Zainab?
I was gonna say conceal.
Good. To conceal, to hide something, right? So that's what إخفاء is. But here in this context, you're not hiding anything. It's to suppress or to lower your voice. Okay. All right. So he's talking about الاستعاذة يجهر والتجمهور والروية الإخفاء with Hamza and Nafi. Okay. Again, this is outside of prayer. As for inside of prayer, as far as I'm aware, all schools of thought, everyone says that it's done quietly. Okay. Let's move on to the next person. I think we're on Zainab now.
الرابعة لا يتعوذ في الصلاة عند مالك.
What's that second word, sorry?
يتعوذ.
Good. لا يتعوذ في الصلاة عند مالك. What does that mean?
You don't say seek refuge.
Good.
In Salah, according to, is it the Malik?
Exactly. Very good. Very good. So according to the Maliki school of thought, and with these sort of, like, this is not a fiqh book, right? This is a tafsir book. He's mentioning these different fawaid, like he mentioned. It's always good to double check these opinions with trained people in that legal school, right? So if you know, double check with a Maliki scholar, right? Double check with a Hanafi, Shafi, etc. Okay. And again, it's not a fiqh class, right? We're just mainly concerned with Arabic right now. لا يتعوذ في الصلاة عند مالك, just like you said. You don't make the isti'adhah and say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم in salah with Malik. According to the author here, the Maliki madhab, there's no isti'adhah in salah. So you start, you do your dua al-istiftah, make your opening your dua, and then Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay. Next line there, Zainab.
ويتعوذ في أول ركعة.
You love sukoons. Why'd you put a sukoon there?
يتعوذ.
Why is it mansub?
I don't know.
The default is, if you have to guess, give it a dhamma. That's that's the default. Good. That's correct. ويتعوذ
في أول ركعة.
That's another sukoon. And I hear you got an email as well, right? Why are you putting? I don't want sukoons.
أول.
After fi.
أولي.
Fi is a harf jar. After these prepositions, always going to be a kasra.
أولي.
Okay.
ركعة.
Good. It's written there.
عند شافعي وأبي حنيفة.
What does that mean?
You don't you say Isti'adhah in the first rak'ah with the Shafi and Hanafi school of thought.
Good, very good. So also the Hanbali madhab as well, plus Ahmed, right? In the Hanbali madhab as well, they do Isti'adhah there. So, but with the Shafi'i madhab, again, I don't want to turn this into a fiqh class. It's actually over here. That's the more relied upon opinion in the madhab. But anyways, But your Arabic's good. ويتعوذ في أول ركعة عند الشافعي وأحمد. ممتاز. Go ahead.
وفي كل ركعة عند قوم.
نعم. What does that mean?
In every rak'ah with, I don't know what qawm is.
قوم يعني with people, right? With people, with a group of scholars. He just doesn't want to mention their names. Okay. So the author is Zainab. So the author, like I said, is Maliki. So that's why he's starting with he typically starts with the Maliki opinion. Okay. Then he mentions the other schools of thought. And then the authors, like when they write books, they have a certain style of writing. So typically when they typically progress, like, you know, what they think is a stronger opinion, then they go to like weaker opinions. And then the fact that he's not even mentioning their names and just saying qawm indicates that he really thinks that's a really weak opinion. Okay, that's a common habit of scholars in the way they write. So like I said, that's actually the Shafi'i madhab, that you do isti'adhah in every rak'ah, because they believe that there was a long gap in your recitation. Okay, you made takbir, you went into sujood, you ruku', sorry, then you came back up, sujood, stood back up, then you start reciting again. There's a long gap, so you make your isti'adhah again. طيب. Let's get Amy.
فحجة مالكي عمل أهل المدينة.
وحجة مالكي no وحجة مالك.
مالك.
عملوا
عمل أهل المدينة.
What does that mean?
The proof of Imam Malik is the action of the people of Medina.
ممتاز, very good. So with the Maliki madhab, as many of you are aware, one of the proofs, just like you have Quran, Sunnah, Qiyas, Istihsan, Qawl Sahabi, all these different evidences, the actions of the people of Medina with the Maliki madhab is a proof. So you have, you know, the grandchildren of the Sahaba. If they're not doing it, right, then it must not be from Islam, right? So that's one of the evidences, right? So again, that's a proof that the isti'adhah is not done in Salah. And then we have Amy. Can you give us this paragraph here? Finish off number 4. And we're almost done, guys. We have until the bottom there, until fasta'id.
وحجة غيره قول الله تعالى فإذا قرأت القرآن فاستعذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. النحل.
Before you continue, وحجة غيره, what does that mean?
It means the proof of other than him.
Good.
For ones besides Imam Malik. It is the speech of Allah Ta'ala.
Statement or speech.
That when you recite Quran, seek refuge with Allah from Shaitan al-Rajim, cursed Shaitan.
Perfect. Good. وذلك.
وذلك يعم
Good.
الصلاة وغيرها.
Good. So here I was expecting some struggle, but mashallah, your Arabic is good. وذلك, what's the second word there?
يعم.
يعم. What does that mean?
Encompasses.
Good. So here the problem is there's no harakat. So you could have read that as ya'imu from wa'ama maybe, right? Could have been wa'ama ya'imu. Could have been a mithal verb. Then you look it up in the dictionary, there's no such thing as wa'ama ya'imu. Then you're like, maybe it's ya'amun, maybe it's a ism, right? There's nothing with ya, ayn, mim. So as you can see, there's no shadda. Sometimes there's a shadda. Right here, you have a shadda, for example. But here, there's no shadda. So you have to just understand. And basically, when you're looking up these words, try everything. Try wa'ama, try ya'imu, try, and then try the double, the muda'af, right? Like you saw. So amma ya'ummu means what?
Encompasses.
Encompass, to be universal, to be general. A word that's am, for example, general. So that encompasses salah
and other than salah.
Exactly. Exactly. So the ha there goes back to salah. Jazakallah khair, Amy. So what that's saying here, the hujjah, so the hujjah for, just so we're all on the same page here, this is the first opinion. Second opinion is وَيَتَعَوَّذُ فِي كُلِّ رَكْعَةٍ عند مالك, عند الشافعي, وأبي حنيفة. Their proof is this verse. This verse is saying when you recite Quran, do isti'adhah, okay? And it's general. That's what he's saying. It's general. It doesn't say فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ إِذَا كُنْتَ خَارِجَ الصَّلَاةِ. It doesn't say that if you're outside of prayer. Rather, it says فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. It's general. وذلك يعم الصلاة وغيرها. ممتاز. طيب, last point here. I think we have Sarah now. تفضلي Sarah.
الخامسة إنما جاء أعوذ
إنما جاءوا.
إنما جاء.
Yeah, فعل ماضي ثلاثي, right?
Oh,
It's like
ماضي.
ضرب. You don't say ضربوا, right?
Okay, right. إنما جاء أعوذ بالمضارع دون الماضي لأن معنى الاستعاذة لا يتعلق.
Good.
يتعلق إلا بالمستقبل لأنها كالدعاء.
لأنها كالدعاء. What does that mean?
So the fifth one is that when أعوذ comes, it's somewhere with مضارع دون الماضي.
What does إنما mean?
Indeed.
What's إنna?
Oh, inna is indeed, but not.
Okay. Or only.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Also, when أعوذ, only when أعوذ comes بالمضارع فعل.
No. What he's saying here is that, Amy, what was the other word? There's another word we use for إنما. That must have been something else. Sorry. إنما جاء أعوذ بالمضارع دون الماضي. That أعوذ only came in the present tense and not in the past tense. So now he's talking about why is it أعوذ in the مضارع and not past tense.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Before we continue, what is the past tense of أعوذ? Sort of question. Go.
The past tense of أعوذ. Ada is Ada.
Ada is he did that, right? I want the I.
That would be أعوذ is the past tense.
No, it was present tense.
Is it عودة?
Sorry, Yusuf?
Is it عودة with the fatha at the end?
On the dhal?
Yeah.
No, that would just be mansub. That's no. Sarah, what was your guess?
I was thinking أعوذ and نعوذ, but you're saying that's مضارع, right?
Yeah, that's just like يضربون يضربا.
Right.
Amy's helping you out in the chat.
Oh, أثو. Oh,
good.
أثو. Oh,
so the ajwaf verb. This is ajwaf, right? Middle letter is a weak verb.
Oh, right.
You have ba'a, you have qala, you have khafa. So عاد يعوذ is just like قال يقول. So how do you say I said?
Oh, I said would be no, أقول is مضارع.
قلت.
Oh, sorry.
Right. So you're going to say
Madi is completely out. Okay.
Exactly.
قلت.
Good. So إنما جاء أعوذ بالمضارع دون الماضي, not the past tense. Why? Now he's going to explain why.
لأن because the meaning of الاستعاذة لا يتعلق إلا بالمستقبل. It's not related to the future.
Oh, no, it's لا يتعلق إلا. So لا إله إلا الله.
Oh, Okay. Except for if it's talking about the future.
It's not related except to with the future, or other way, it's only related to the future.
Oh, okay. Two negatives make a positive. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's
Oh,
what does la
okay.
ilaha illallah mean, right?
Right.
We have a similar structure happening here. We have the la,
Right, and then
and then
illa.
illah,
Oh, sure.
right? So how do you translate la ilaha illallah?
So yeah, there's no deity except for Allah.
Except, right?
Basically, there's no deity except for
Exactly. So لا يتعلق. So لأن معنى الاستعاذة, try that again. معنى الاستعاذة لا يتعلق إلا.
Okay, إلا بالمستقبل. So it
مستقبل.
means that isti'adhah, there is it is talking about the future. Isti'adhah is talking about the meaning, is talking about the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. لأنها because it's like a dua.
Exactly. And كالدعاء.
Oh,
right?
كالدعاء. Okay.
Right. You say, Allah give me this, or you ask for things in the future.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Not in the past tense, right?
Okay.
طيب. جزاك الله خير, Sarah, and we'll get the last little chunk there with Sabir. تفضل صابر.
وإنما جاء بحمزة المتكلم وحده متكلم وحده مشاكلة لأمر به في قوله تعالى فاستعذ. في قوله تعالى فاستعذ.
ما معنى هذا? This is probably the hardest part in the whole section. What does that mean?
It says, and it has, or it only comes with a Hamza al-mutakallim wahid. So the Hamza of, which is the first person singular.
What does wahda mean?
Wahda. Only.
نعم. ذهب إلى السوق وحده, right?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
by itself.
Mm-hmm.
مشاكلة لأمر به في. So this is following or similar to the commanding of it in the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fasta'id. Take.
Good. So this is one of the harder parts. You did well, mashallah. Let me explain here. وإنما جاء بهمزة المتكلم وحده. So now the next issue to be discussed is, why is it أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم and not نعوذ with a noon? Why is it أعوذ and not نعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم? Whatever you're going to say, you have to also keep in mind that in Fatiha you have إياك نعبد and not إياك أعبد. So if you're going to say, well, you're alone here, well, aren't you alone over there too? Right? So why is it a hamza and not a noon? إنما جاء بهمزة المتكلم وحده. Why? The answer is مشاكلة للأمر به في قوله تعالى فاستعذ. طيب. مشاكلة is a I think I can call it a rhetorical device or a literary device. Okay. It's studied in balagha. So in balagha, the subject of nahu sarf and balagha. Balagha itself is 3 subjects. You have ilm al-ma'ani, ilm al-bayani, and ilm al-badi'. Al-badi' is typically studied last. What is ilm al-badi'? Ilm al-badi' is من محسنات اللغة الكلام. من محسنات الكلام. علم البديع is just beautification of speech, just making things, rhyming and these sort of things, right? These sort of literary devices and stuff. Okay. From those things that are studied in it, علم البديع is مشاكلة. مشاكلة, I'm gonna I don't have the exact definition with me right now. I'll just give you in my own words, and I'll give you an example. Mushakala is a word is used, and then you use the same word again with a different meaning. Which is different from jinas. I'll give you an example. How many times have you heard, for example, a mother telling her child, go clean your room? And then the child says, but and then the mother says, the only but I want to see, right, is yours leaving to go clean your room. Right? That is mushakala. That is mushakala. The first but and the second but are two different, right? Shakala comes from the word shakal, which means shape or form. Shakala is to resemble something else. Okay? So here, the command is in the singular. Fasta'idh is commanding one person. So mushakalatan, you say a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Okay? In the Quran, there's examples of mushakala in the Quran. And we'll end with this in a moment. I apologize for going over today. We have وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ. Al-makar is al-khida', right? Al-khida'. So وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ, mushakala is used there. Or another example, فَمَنِ اعْتَدَى عَلَيْكُمْ فَاعْتَدُوا عَلَيْهِ. Allah says, the sacred month, الشهر الحرام, الشهر الحرام. The sacred month is for the sacred month, right? And the prohibited things, and for the prohibited things, there is the law of equality, qisas. Then the verse says, then whoever, فَمَنِ اعْتَدَى عَلَيْكُمْ فَاعْتَدُوا عَلَيْهِ. Then whoever transgresses the prohibition against you, you transgress likewise against them. You transgress against them as well. The second transgression is not really a transgression. It's not literally a transgression. Okay? But the same word is being used. Is that clear there? Amy, Zainab, you guys get that? Tell me on the mic or in the chat.
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Right. So that is mushakala. طيب, and with that, we've come to an end for today's lesson. Inshallah, we'll continue next lesson. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.